Right, I've got the sound of that kettle. The microphone's working, so I'm recording from now on.
Anything I say might be taken down and used against me?
Exactly. We are in your kitchen on your boat, Lindon. And there's a lot of space in this boat. Feels great.
Well, being Dutch, it's built for a tall Dutch guy like you. You must be 6'1",
I'm 6'2", yeah, 6'2".
Yeah, so you can stand up everywhere.
So this is actually a Dutch boat.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about Dutch conversion, is that they're converted for tall people usually. The Chaliks with the sail.
Right, okay, the mast that goes up and down. Yeah.
They tend to have much lower headroom, and many Dutch barges you're down like this because you've got to leave room for the. But this had its mast and sails chopped off, and its keels, its lee boards chopped off.
So the lee boards are the things that go down the sides to keep it steady in the actual sea rather than the canal.
Yeah, not to keep it steady, but to keep it from sliding sideways. When
the sail's up, of course, because there's no keel on these.
There's no keel; they're flat bottom. Yeah. Yes. So those are the keels. And the nice thing about them is that you only use one at a time. So once you're on starboard tack, you pull up the port side keel. So you're only dragging one keel. So they flop up and down.
That makes a movable keel. I like that idea. Have you been out on the sea in this? Did you know this boat before it was converted?
Only when we bought it. Right. No, we bought it. It was on the Medway when we got it.
Which is north. Was that?
You're not very
north of
nautical,
London.
are you?
No, the Medway.
The Medway.
Well, I am nautical, but not geographical.
Mate, you've got to know where the Medway's in Kent.
Oh, it's south of London.
Yes. So it goes out from.
I thought it was north.
Goes out from Maidstone, I think.
Right.
And heads south, I think. South west, maybe. Yeah.
So you bought it there. You did a conversion on it. Was it a proper top to bottom conversion you did, or?
No. So I bought it. It had been converted in the '60s by someone in Holland. I've got some newspaper cuttings from it from the '60s. Somewhere.
Oh, amazing!
I can't remember where I put
it's
them.
Nice. It's got that history. It's nice to be in a place where things have happened previous.
Yeah. Well, it was just a coastal cargo boat, lighter.
So it was made for trade.
It was made for
not
trade.
For living in.
This boat, Bestivar, was made for trade in 1915 as a motorboat. Yeah, but there was no motors available in 1915.
Right.
In Holland, there's nothing available in Holland in 1915, I suspect, and so it was built without an engine with sails, but with the engine bed and the shaft and everything there ready to put an engine in when such things were available. So for quite how long it was like that for with mast and sails but no engine, I don't know. But in the 60s, someone chopped off all the sailing gear and built a cabin on it, so it became a recreational motorboat.
And the 60s was roughly when canal life in the UK got a bit of a boost, where there was a bit of a cultural kind of like lift and people campaigned to
the founding of the
open the canals
IWA,
again.
the Inland Waterways Association, was founded in the late 60s, early 70s. Yeah. And that was the revivalist, the canal revivalist period.
Yeah. So this is just over 110 years old.
Yes.
I wonder how many.
I forgot its birthday.
Oh no!
I was really busy fixing it at the time and painting it, but I forgot all about its 100th birthday.
Well, maybe that was the present to it.
Yeah.
Maybe the new paint job was exactly the present that this boat needed. Did you give it the name Bestivar, or was it already called it?
No. And it took me a good 10 years to find out what Bestivar meant.
Oh, okay.
Because I was looking for it in Dutch, and I think it's an ancient Dutch word, Bestivar.
Right.
And when you Google it, it says, Bestivar. Bestivar is what you call an ancient mariner, a good seaman and captain,
that's
and
nice.
they're known as the best of ours, and there were
So it's
two
like an old salty sea dog kind of like
Indeed.
vibe to it.
an old salty sea dog will be referred to as best of our.
And because of its size, where we are, we're on the Regent's Canal. It's bigger than most of the boats that are on this canal. Does that mean it's slightly harder for you to find a space to fit in?
Well, I'm 60 foot by 12 foot 10,
Yeah.
and I should think the majority of the narrow boats here are 55, 60 foot. So I'm about the same length
Okay.
as most of the organic narrow boats that are here.
Yeah. But you've got that.
My most restriction is the height. Yeah.
You've got the what do you call that?
Wheelhouse.
The wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And then you're about to deliver a tea
So I'll
up to the
take
wheelhouse.
To my wife, 1 second. There you go, Fitz.
You've got various interesting things on the wall. One of them is a periodic table, which kind of makes me slightly flinch from chemistry when I was at school.
Yeah.
And over here you've got a French clock poster
Oh yeah.
to tell the time in French.
Yeah. So I've got an 11-year-old boy, and he's just learning posters.
Nice.
And he refuses to learn French, so we've forgotten about that. He's more interested in Mandarin at the moment.
Right. Okay.
But
So
he
he's got
does
a
know
love of
his
language.
periodic table.
Well, that is
He's a bit
amazing
of a
because
scientist.
the thing is, the periodic table is a language in itself.
It is indeed, yeah.
Shall we go through to this
Yes.
aft room?
And did you know that there are octaves in a periodic table, similarly as there are in music?
Okay.
So elements tend to fall in groups of 8, which is a very strange thing.
Okay, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand the context of that. So,
Okay.
what?
Don't let me
So-
explain.
so I know about-
I don't either, so I'm not going to
All
explain.
right.
that.
Okay.
Right, drink your tea there. You go.
Lovely. So, what tea are we drinking? Is this Yorkshire tea?
Lapsang
Oh, I love Lapsang.
PG.
Lapsang PG mix.
No, it's just PG. I think it's Yorkshire. There you go. Did you say Yorkshire?
Yeah.
It is Yorkshire. You must have spotted that. My wife's from Yorkshire.
Ah,
Hey.
all the points of the compass. Nothing west. We haven't mentioned anything west yet. Any west connections?
Well, the best West connection I can offer you is the story I read about a teacher who sailed a mirror dinghy that he found in the backyard of the school he was teaching in,
Right.
and he sailed it all the way from Wales across again to the Baltic.
In a dinghy, like a really
in a
small dinghy.
sailing dinghy.
Oh my
In a
goodness.
sailing dinghy across the Channel, across
Blimey.
up the Rhone, up the Rhine. It's an amazing story.
I mean, once you're on the inland waters, I've once crossed the Channel in a sailing boat, and the thing I remember was the danger of the shipping line.
Yes, can you
The
imagine in a mirror
In
dinghy?
a dinghy, you haven't got much, speed to get out of the way of things. And I also remember crossing it at night when I couldn't tell whether the lights were coming towards me or going away.
You've got to read this book then, because this is the most frightening episodes. He's in the having a ship bear down on you, 200 feet above, when you're in a little dinghy.
I probably couldn't see him because he hardly showed up on their radar.
I was
Wow.
just looking in my Kindle to see if I could find the name.
What,
of
the name of the book?
I will find
I'll
it,
find
and you
it.
can
I'll
edit
look
it in
for it.
later. Yeah, it's
I'll
such
look
a
for
good
it.
story. Such a good boating story.
So did he
Have
do-
you read The Old Man of the Sea?
Yes,
Yeah.
long time
So
ago.
It's better than that. It's better than
wow.
The Old Man of the Sea. It's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. And also, all the way, because he was going in an odd craft, he probably generated a lot of conversation with strangers. Because people
Everybody
would,
helped him.
people would come up and go, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
And why are you doing it?" That's the nice thing about being slightly out of the ordinary, or doing something which attracts attention. Or I think we all have those kind of moments when we do want to stand out, and there's other moments when we don't want to stand out and we want to just pass by unnoticed.
I feel a bit like that myself at the moment.
Yeah.
I've been 15 years on this boat being noticed, so I live on a thoroughfare of the towpath.
Yeah.
And if I want to go outside and enjoy the outside, I'm there in a thoroughfare, a towpath thoroughfare, and it gets very busy. And I know a lot of people, and everyone says hello as they come by.
So you don't actually have much time to yourself because
very
people are
little.
always engaging you in conversation.
Exactly. Even if you don't know them, they still want to chat about your boat.
Course.
You know? And I'm quite gregarious. I love it. But I'm 15 years and now I want to be able to sit outside in my own garden with nobody looking at me or talking to me. You know. It's that.
Maybe you need to raise some kind of like for screen, like some old Victorian screen or something where you sit behind it so you're not seen.
Yeah, no, I have in the past wanted to try to put some lovely hangings on to shield a little bit of privacy for where we might have been in a paddling pool or something.
Yeah. It's nice that you provide that social points of chat for other people because everyone loves to chat with a stranger. It lifts the mood.
Yes.
But I could also see that. How could you make it so that people didn't? Maybe you just got an approachable face, Lyndon. Right? Maybe you just need to look a bit more frowny.
Yeah, it does help. I do try sometimes.
You do. I remember a friend of mine who is married to a Brazilian guy, and she says he does something which is very natural to him, which he stands at the bottom of their garden, where the gate goes on the street, and he just leans against the gate. And he chats to anyone who comes past.
Nice.
So he puts himself into the street scene.
Yeah.
And she says he knows everyone.
That's lovely. Yeah, that is.
And
lovely.
that's how he loves to spend his time, is just watching life go by, engaging with whoever wants to.
Well, what I'm finding now is I sit if I come and sit indoors now and the windows are open during this hot spell, I'll hear people shouting my name from the street, from the towpath.
Oh, really?
So I've got, okay, well, I can pretend I'm not in or something.
Yeah, duck down.
Yeah. So we're trying to buy a flat in Dalston, and this flat has completely private balcony, so I'm dying to get there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so this need for privacy is going as far as actually changing your living conditions. Now, this boat does stand out because it's unusual. It looks different to the other boats.
Yeah.
And when you're on the deck, you are kind of more seen. The flat that you're going to be getting, hopefully, is that a complete change of lifestyle, or is that a 50-50 where you'll have a bit on land and a bit also on the water?
Well, yeah, we're going to keep this boat.
Yeah.
So the plan is, my wife has insisted we keep this boat, and I can understand why, because when I get too much for her, she can kick me out and I can come here and chill out and do my thing.
Yeah.
Bit of a worry, of course, but whether she'll let me back in again or not. But we've just been talking about it just now, actually. But it's I suppose for any family, it's lovely to have a boat, to be able to go out and ride on a boat. So we'll keep it for a year or so and see how we get on.
See how the double act goes.
Yeah, it's not expensive to keep a boat here if you're not really using it.
Right.
It's like £1,500, £1,600 a year for a license for this boat.
For the water gypsy thing, where you have to move it though.
Every 2 weeks, yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you still have to move it every 2 weeks.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Unless I want to pay like £1,500 a month
for a mooring.
Yeah, which I'm not prepared to do. No.
Does the thing about boat life? I also understand why you're keeping the boat, because boat life has romance, freedom, independence.
Yes. Yeah.
It just has those things attached to it.
Yeah, and I've had that. I've enjoyed that. I've filled my boots with those things.
Yeah.
And now what I want is a flat where I can shut the door and go out and not worry about whether it's going to sink or not.
Yeah.
Or whether someone is going to untie it, or more badly behind it with their front of their boat bashing into my rudder.
Yeah.
So it is always a bit of a worry having a boat. Wondering worrying that it might develop a leak, or one of the pumps might get stuck on.
Mm-hmm.
I went on a customer's boat once, which almost sank, and the reason it almost sank was because the shower handle had not been put back properly in its clip in the shower.
Right.
It had fallen down. As it fell down, it turned the tap on.
Oh, no way. What a
emptied
random,
his
what a random thing.
emptied his water tank out into his boat, nearly sank his boat.
Blimey.
And then no evidence of it either.
Yeah.
No evidence. Well,
So you're trying to piece
what
together
happened?
this
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah.
How come the boat's full of water, the shower's down?
I had a client once came and complained to me that kids had broken into his boat and been pouring lighter fluid on his cushions and setting fire to it. I said, "How did that? Show me this." So I went to have a look at it, and sure enough, a set of cushions in the back of his boat,
Yeah.
underneath the canopied area, and sure enough, there were like burns in lines across these white cushions, as if someone had poured lighter fuel in a line and set fire to it. Took me a long time to work it out. Eventually I worked out it was caused by the sun shining through a pool of water in a clear transparent window in the sunroof.
Oh my goodness.
The sun had been shining through it, being magnified into a point, and as the sun had tracked, the point had become a line
Fascinating.
and burned a line all right across the cushions. Next day, sun had done the same thing, but a couple of inches further along because
Interesting, because it was changing in the seasons.
Yeah.
This is like an artwork.
And I've seen it happen twice on two different boats.
No
I'm
way.
a boat builder, so I've been with boats ever since.
Right.
But I've seen it happen on two different boats in my lifetime that they've almost been set fire. They hadn't caught fire.
Yeah.
They just burned and not caught fire. But two occasions, boats being left alone in the sunshine, and somehow water had caused the light to concentrate onto one area, magnify
You
it.
could definitely put that in an art gallery and sell that as a work.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. So with the boat building, you've always been connected to boats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
so.
did you grow up with boats?
Yeah, I grew up. But when I was about 10, my dad bought a house by the river in Shepperton in Surrey,
Right.
and we lived there for I ended up living there for like 20, 30 years in
Yeah.
Shepperton.
Yeah. So you were looking out on the water. You were seeing craft passing by.
Had canoes at the bottom of the garden,
That's
little
the life
dinghies.
when you were a kid.
And then
Oh,
I progressed to
goodness.
speedboats, and I loved. And me and my mates, when we were like 13, 14, we would have our own, our own vehicles to go out and
Yeah.
explore and race with each other. And
That's the life.
it was a lovely childhood being brought up by the river on the Thames.
Oh,
yeah.
that is the life. Because also, it has a freedom. There's something about exploring on a watercraft that's different from, well, I suppose it's a bit like being on a bike in a wood, making your jumps, going
Yes.
out and finding stuff.
Exactly
it's
like
it's
that.
that thing.
I progressed to motorbikes in the woods later on,
Right.
but not after racing boats for a while. Yeah.
Now, having had that experience yourself, you've got an 11-year-old boy. Have you tried to recreate any of that for him?
Yeah.
Or give him the space or give him the environment where it's like, you could do this if you want.
Yeah, he's quite strong-minded, my boy, so it's hard to influence him. But one of the things I did when he was about 5, I built a cardboard boat for him with a. Oh, yeah, that's right. I built a cardboard boat for him one afternoon out of a roll of tape and some cardboard boxes we had. And we managed to make a little dinghy which was just big enough to support his weight.
Amazing.
And then we powered it with a cordless electric drill. So
What?
I know. So I put him in the boat, sat him, I said, right now, pull that trigger. And sure enough, he pulled the trigger and the boat shot off across the canal. I've got a video of it, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Frightened me.
Of course.
He then let go of the trigger,
Of course.
frightened. And I then had to try and talk him to...
Yeah. He's
to
all
turn
adrift
it
now.
round. Yes.
All at sea. In a tiny dinghy.
Yeah.
What a brilliant idea.
I love building a little boat, yeah.
10 out of 10 for dad adventure tricks. So there's a lot of action, there's a lot of practicality. Do you think through your hands if you're a boat builder? Are you someone who instinctively has to kind of feel the wood, touch the wood as much as draft it out and plan it?
Yeah, I'm not very good at drafting out and planning. I'll sketch, yeah. But no, I'm not much of a boat builder. I'm not really a hands-on wooden boat builder, as I think one would expect from someone who's a boat builder. I'm more of an engineer, boat assembler. Funnily enough, boat building not a lot of boat building goes on really nowadays in this country. It's more
No,
a
and
case of
there's even one of the few remaining cottages closed down recently,
Right.
up at Lowestoft, I
yeah.
think.
Is it? I didn't know that.
I think, yeah, because I was talking to a young boat builder down closer to the Thames, and he was saying the place that he trained had just shut down because, yeah, and anyway.
Boat designers will now rely on all sorts of technical skills to build a boat rather than hands-on craftsman skills. I mean, the technical skill is choosing the right engine or choosing the right glass fibre material to have it moulded in.
So is your role kind of like a problem solver? People bring you in and I've got this problem, and then you're like, I can think laterally through my experience, I can work out a way to solve this problem that you have. Is it that kind of thing?
That's what I've been doing for most of my boat building years, is repairing boats.
Right.
I started off as an apprentice building boats in Chertsey for a firm called Bates.
Right.
Hire boat fleet. Oh, hire boat, and we were selling them as well.
Yeah.
But there's so little boat building goes on, and it's so fraught with danger trying to build boats. It's
Because of the responsibility of what then gets put on the water, or
no, because the market is so fickle, and you can end up with a whole lot of stock that you do not need. So,
does it rely? Does the boat market, maybe not on the canal here, but in general, does the boat market rely on people with deep pockets?
Yeah, I mean, there's different boat markets. There's the billionaire boat market, which is serviced by Sunseeker boats down in Plymouth.
Okay, yeah, the brand, which is the luxury brand of for cruises. Yeah.
Who, when I started out, was called Pool Power Boats, and they just built little speedboats. But
right,
they
spotted the market, and they were like, we can do this.
They developed the market. They developed the market. They created the market, really.
Good for them.
So back in the 60s, leisure boats didn't exist. You know, they started out in the 60s, leisure boats, and, power boats. There was sail obviously for years, but leisure power boats, which is really what I've been into all my life.
Yeah.
A relatively new thing. Yeah.
Have you always been a sole trader? Have you always been someone who has been able to work independently? I mean, you mentioned working for Bates when you were apprenticing, but other than that, is it you on your own? Is that how you like to work?
No, not at all. No, it's very boring.
You like the company?
Yeah, definitely like the company. So I ran a business out in Shepperton with like 20 employees, fixing boats, selling equipment. But I gave that up and retired from it about 5 years ago, and passed it on to my daughter, who now runs it.
Right.
So my daughter is still up and running.
Yeah.
It's about half the size it used to be, but it's nice and neat and tidy, and my daughter manages to make a living out of it. Yeah.
The change point between you and your daughter, that is quite often seen as a point of risk for business. The statistics show often a generational change from one family member to another is a point where businesses can fail, either because the preparation hasn't been done, or the next
can develop, or can blossom.
How did you manage that change so that both of you were happy with the handover? And
I halved the business. It was in two premises. We had a boatyard and a marina location. So I decided it was too cumbersome, too complex. So I halved the business and tidied it up as much as I could, and slowly retired. One day a week at a time. You know.
Right.
So
slowly let go.
Yeah, slowly let go
off the ropes.
And my daughter's inevitable, doing better than I ever did at it.
Good.
So she's
good for her.
She's a little less irritable than I am, I think.
She brings a different customer facing service.
Customers can be hard work after a few years.
Oh God, that whole thing about the customer's always right must sometimes, through gritted teeth, you must remind yourself of that.
Well, no, I can remember myself running my business and sitting down in meetings with my staff and having to instill in them my way, which was that the customer is always wrong.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
We are right, and we're going to give them the advice as to what's the best thing to do. and I don't think it went down that well. But it was the way I thought it was right. But no one's got the right idea about what to do with their boat. People are always asking for no, not always, but the majority of people haven't got a clue as to what needs doing.
Right. So in your conversations through your time, through your work, there's lots of phrases like, "That's a nice idea, but have you thought about?"
Frankly, I couldn't do the selling. I couldn't have those conversations with people.
Really? You left that to others?
Yeah, it's just, you know what? I think I left it to paperwork.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I said, look, you can't have a sensible conversation with a customer about their boat. They're not invested in it enough, or they think it's just a little trinket. Whereas to me, it's an important bit of kit that's meant to work the way it's meant to work.
Right.
Whereas for
in a way, your approach to it was, I have the boat's best interest at heart.
Yes.
In how I approach this business.
Yes, probably that's what.
And the customer is an unfortunate part of the of the dynamic.
Yeah.
So having stepped back from that, having your daughter take it over, and it's been, what did you say, 5 years now?
Yeah, about 5 years.
How does it feel 5 years on from having made that change? And do you sometimes think, do you sometimes want to be doing stuff, or you're quite happy about what you've done?
Oh yeah, no, not at all. The less admin I can, the more admin I can get rid of, the better. And I find myself taking on a little bit of admin nowadays, which I shouldn't be doing, but I've had to for family reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I just got. When you've run a business for 30 years, you just get like PTSD. You know, it's just like. You don't want to open your emails. You don't want to, in case someone's handed in their notice, or a customer's decided they're going to take a county court action against you.
Oh my lord! Right, serious stuff.
Or the bank manager says, "Guys, sorry, we've been banking for years, but head office say we've got to move on now, ditch you now." And those kind of things. When you get one of those every month. They start to give you the willies, you know. Frankly, so I've had enough of that. 30 years of that, I couldn't take any more. I don't have a strong enough constitution. You know what I mean?
It's interesting that kind of that kind of graph line, because somehow maybe I imagine that the longer you're in a business, the less bothered you get about things like that, because the wider your parameters are, there's nothing you haven't heard before. So, but it's interesting that you say that there's a certain bit your waterline rises in terms of what you can cope with, and there's a certain point where you're like, this is just, I just don't want it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I got to. Yeah, that's what I got to.
Which is a great time to stop.
Exactly, yeah. And hand over a very viable business to your family, to your daughter, and for her to be successful at it. So yeah, very happy with that.
What have you, Lindon, been thinking about today, this morning? What's been your immediate? What's been taking up your mind since you woke up today?
Well, my wife and I have just had an online therapy session with a counsellor.
Excellent.
Yeah, because we're about to move into this flat together. We're about to buy this flat in Dalston, and it's fraught with danger because we've been living separately up until now. Right. So it's fraught with danger. So we're having a monthly therapy session to make sure we're sliding into this this flat with enough consideration for each other, so it's going to work.
You're thinking in advance. That's good prepreration.
No, that's my wife's preparation.
Right. So she's like, this is part of the deal. No, we're gonna slowly get used to this idea.
Indeed.
Therapy's going to be part of it. We need to talk through some stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And not just ourselves.
Yes.
Great.
And the therapist we're using seems to. He lives in a couple in a flat with his partner, and they seem to suffer the same. They seem to suffer from the same problems that we think we might suffer from.
Right. So there's some empathy there.
Totally, yeah. So we get a lot of empathy from our therapists about I'm
very impressed that you're doing that. I think more people should do that kind of thing in advance, because I think most of us do it reactively. The one time that I've done therapy, it was to do with heartbreak, and I kind of needed to dig myself out of a hole.
Right.
But, you know, I've got friends who have had counselling or therapy more long term, and they're great proselytisers for it. They're just like, everyone should do this because it's a release.
David, yeah. My daughter a few years ago said to me, she said, Dad, I've broken up with Louis again. I said, well, mate, what are we going to do? She said, I've decided I'm never going to go out with anybody ever again who hasn't had therapy.
Oh, wow.
But people aren't themselves unless they've been through therapy.
Oh, so she's a real convert.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Did you look at her askance and go?
No, I totally agreed, mate. No, I said, good on you, good on you. People are idiots, really, until they discover themselves and see themselves reflected in a therapist, isn't it?
I'm not going to comment on that one way or the other.
You're agreeing with me. People can be right idiots until they see themselves in the mirror, can't they?
I think we find it very hard to know ourselves objectively. And even in our everyday, if we recorded how we are in a social situation with our families and the interactions we have, I think we'd be surprised sometimes by how we react.
Yeah.
Because in your head, you only understand yourself through your own thoughts. But actually, if someone's got a camera on you and is recording you, and you look back, you're like, is that? I always remember when I did teacher training many years ago, and they videoed a lesson, and we all watched it back as a class. And I watched myself teaching, and I thought, first of all, that's not me. And secondly, what a terrible teacher. What a terrible teacher. That's awful. Yeah. And you know, it was a shock. I've always remembered how shocking it was to actually objectively watch.
And we won't look at the mirror. We won't look in the mirror. We will avoid the mirror.
Yeah.
All our lives will avoid the mirror. So it is useful to do a little bit of therapy, isn't it?
And for these sessions you do with your wife, do you look forward to them? Is there a kind of enthusiasm for them, or do you also slightly gird your loins as you go towards them each week?
Yes, I think Addie, my partner, she's more enthusiastic about it. But for me, no, I don't like people digging around, asking me questions. What you like? Personal questions about how I feel. I can't. I'm not telling you how I feel. So yeah, no, I'm not good at it, which is probably why I'm talking about it, because I do find it useful.
Are you getting better? Like, the more you do, are you learning the language of it? Because there is a sort of language of self-expression which you have to kind of get used to, because we're not used to doing.
No, I am used to it though, because I've brushed through counselling and marriage therapy and stuff like that in the past.
Right.
So I am familiar with the language.
Yes.
I'm quite receptive towards it. I just like to deny it that it's necessary.
You can pay it lip service.
Yeah.
Anything else that's been on your mind this morning? Anything more mundane, more kind of everyday?
Well, yeah. I mean, this thing I'm about to tell you has been on my mind for the past 5 days, and I'm going to stand up and just quickly show you something.
Okay.
I want you to come over here with
let's
the
do it.
microphone, and I'll explain the whole story to you. So, it is in this smallest room on the boat.
So you've opened a door, and we're looking at the toilet, lifting the lid.
Oh, it's a little full of water, but luckily only water.
Yeah.
Right, so we lifted the upper lid.
Yes.
Yeah. Then there's the second lid, or the seat. Yeah?
Yes.
I lift that up. You notice there are 4 plastic fittings underneath the seat.
To make it balance correctly on the porcelain, yeah.
One of them is missing.
Right.
Where do you think that's gone?
It's fallen down into the toilet.
Into the macerator toilet system.
You're not going to go and get
it. The toilet is barely flushing.
You're not going to go and get it, are you?
I've got to go down. I've got to be in there. So that's been on my mind for the last 3 days since I noticed it disappeared and the toilet isn't flushing.
And when you say a macerator, is this something that basically sort of rotates or processes it or chews up everything as it goes through?
Like a food mixer, only not food.
So you're going to have to go down with your hands and get out the mangled bit of plastic which is stopping your toilet flushing properly.
Yeah, somewhere in the system. And it goes, the toilet is in that little room, and there's a 2-inch pipe goes from it under the floorboards across the boat to the back of the boat where the holding tank is, where I keep routinely 400 litres of pooey water until I get to a pump out station to empty it. You know, who'd live on a boat? Actually, I blame Timu for that, because I bought that toilet seat for £5 on Timu.
Right.
And the little plastic feet.
Is that like a shopping platform or something?
It's the Chinese version of Amazon.
Right. Okay.
A lot cheaper.
Right.
But the little plastic feet fall off the bottom of the toilet seat and ruin your life until you're prepared to
maybe
get
you
fingers.
Maybe you also need to take the other 3 out and glue them on with very strong.
David, they're already glued on. I did this. I predicted this. I glued them in when I put it on there. I glued them in.
Oh no!
And the glue, I didn't use enough glue.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! So at what point is it going to get to a critical mass? So you'll go, right, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to start.
It's just time. I need a bit of time without my wife and my child busting for the loo, because I might have to retrace the pipe work quite a long way back. Might be a lot of disassembly, so I'm dreading it. But I've got to roll up my sleeves. Yes.
Once it's done, though.
No, not once it's done, Dave. No, this is people's misconception of boats. Yeah. You don't just fix the toilet and then it's done. It then breaks down again next week, and the week after, and then the heating breaks down, then your water pump breaks down, and then your steering breaks down, and then your alternator breaks down, then your solar panel breaks down, then one of your batteries decides it's going to cook itself. So boating is fraught with these minor dangers that you've got to deal with here immediately, or you can't have a wee.
It's a dedicated life.
It is. You've got to be keen. I mean, don't get me wrong, I live in luxury on my boat, or we live. We've got washing machine, microwave, electric kettle. We've got it all going on, all mod cons. There are many people out here on ratty narrowboats who live their lives by candlelight, even in the winter.
Yeah.
Many people like that. And no, it's a roof over your head, isn't it? But for me, I've made it a bit more luxurious. Being a boat builder, I couldn't very well neglect all the mod cons. We have them all.
In the future, once you're on land, in theory, these problems slide away from you.
Well, they do, because you've got 240 volt stuff, you've got mains drainage. 240 volts works lovely. 24 volts is under a lot of stress when you're trying to live with 24 volts, and that's why it always seems to fail after a while. All the electric motors, all the pumps, all the valves, all the switches, they all don't like low voltage, because it's high amperage, low voltage. Whereas in a house you've got high voltage, low amperage, everything just works lovely.
Is there any part of you that you think will feel guilty because of your affection for Bestivar, for the boat itself, for the relationship you have with this boat? Once you're on land, do you think Bestivar is going to judge you?
No, totally not. No, because that's because this must be the 100th boat I've ever owned. Having been in the business so long, I can be quite callous about the boat. Yeah, no. So once it's off my hand, once I've moved it on, I'm not using it. It's someone else's problem. I'm not concerned. So I'm afraid no particular sentimental attachment. My wife does, but she's not the one with the pooey hands. Although her toilet, she lives on a boat as well, a modern narrowboat, and even her modern narrowboat, the toilet keeps blocking up, and she keeps having to get in there and take it all apart. In fact, I should ask her to. She even offered. She did offer. My wife did offer to help me unblock this toilet. I'm going to take her up on it, maybe.
Is it? Maybe you should bring it into the counselling.
Yes.
Somehow,
Yes.
as a metaphor for.
Yes. It would make a very good metaphorical conversation, wouldn't it?